Hello and welcome to the HPV webinar. My name is Ruth Brodie and I am a clinical lead at Vaccination UK. I hope this is an informative session for you and leaves you without any questions. However, if questions arise, please email our team using the details given at the end of the session. During this session, we hope to share with you enough information about HPV and the vaccine so that you'll be in a better position to consent for your child, either in approving or declining the vaccine. I also hope that it will equip you with information so that you can start talking with your son or daughter about these and other health-related topics. HPV stands for human papillomavirus, which is a group of viruses that affects both males and females. For most people, HPV clears on its own, but for some who don't get rid of the virus, it can cause cancer and other diseases. Unfortunately, there is no way of knowing who will or will not clear the virus. As we see in greater detail shortly, most cervical cancer is caused by HPV. The NHS has pledged to eliminate cervical cancer by 2040. One of the main goals to aid this reduction is by ensuring people are protected against HPV through vaccination. HPV is very easily spread as it lives on the skin. It's spread through close physical contact with infected people. The virus is primarily transmitted during contact of the genitals, either through touching the genital area or through sexual intercourse. Becoming infected with HPV is not about promiscuity, as it can be spread during your first and only sexual encounter and without even having sexual intercourse. I want to tell you the story of a Jewish lady called Penny Simmons. She was a 39-year-old mother of three when the results of a routine smear test revealed abnormal cells and the presence of HPV. She said, "I remember being led to believe that cervical cancer and HPV only really affects promiscuous women who are sexually active from a young age. It's not something that a good Jewish girl who's been married since she was 22 needed to worry about." Having undergone a hysterectomy to remove the cancer, Miss Simmons is now working to raise awareness of HPV, as she found stigma that she fears is holding people back from getting the protection they need against the virus. She's been working with the charity Joe's Cervical Cancer Trust, blogging about her experience, and has appeared on Channel 5 News to talk about her experience as part of Cervical Cancer Prevention Week. This is a picture of Jason, who was diagnosed with HPV-related throat cancer at the age of 44. With a wife and 3 children, he was determined to survive. He found a small lump in his neck whilst resting on his hand during a financial exam. He wasn't worried as he was healthy and didn't smoke or drink. However, a biopsy later revealed stage 4 tonsil cancer caused by HPV. Jason has been through major surgery, chemo and radiation therapies over past 10 years and now campaigns to raise awareness of HPV. He wants to stop anyone else from having to go through what he did by sharing his story, which you can read more about through his inspiring blog. So as mentioned, HPV describes a group of viruses, and these are called subtypes, of which there are over 100. They are deemed either low risk or high risk, depending on their ability to cause cancer. Subtypes 16 and 18 are linked to most cases of cervical cancer, as well as high numbers of penile, anal, mouth, and throat cancers. Subtypes of 6 and 11 are responsible for painless growths or lumps, known as genital warts. Last year, the NHS spent over £50 million on the treatment of warts in England. This is a slide to show the progression of the virus in an HPV infected person. You can see that most infected people remain without knowledge as they have no symptoms, and their infection clears within 2 years. However, for some individuals, the virus doesn't get cleared by the body, and so leads to cell changes and eventually cancer. This is a quick slide about cervical cancer, as nearly all are caused by an infection of HPV. It's most common in women aged between 30 and 35, but it can happen at any age. Anyone with a cervix can get cervical cancer. As you can see, on average, 3,200 women are diagnosed with cervical cancer each year, and 850 women sadly die from the disease. However, the remarkable news is that the HPV vaccine has reduced the rate of cervical cancer for women in their 20s by 90%, and that since the vaccine was introduced in 2008. We still have a long way to go, as uptake for this vaccine has dramatically decreased over the past 5 years. This has resulted in larger numbers of people remaining unprotected against the virus. The HPV vaccine offers excellent protection against HPV with over 99% effectiveness. Due to its high efficacy, only 1 dose is required. It protects against 9 different subtypes, including those discussed earlier. So in total, there are 7 high risk and 2 low risk. Herd immunity is the term used when people are indirectly protected against an infection because there are large numbers of vaccinated people in the community, as the vaccinated people cannot pass the virus on. Because vaccination rates have declined in recent years, herd immunity can't be assumed. The HPV vaccine uses recombinant DNA technology, similar to the Hep B vaccine. This method uses virus-like particles to stimulate the immune system so that the body creates a defense. Later, when the individual is exposed to HPV, the body quickly identifies it and kills it. This stops the virus from establishing an infection. Current studies suggest that protection is maintained for more than 10 years, and long-term studies are continuing to determine if boosters would be required in the future. I want to talk to you briefly about the ingredients of the vaccine in the hope that we can demystify what's inside. As mentioned previously, the vaccine's main ingredient is the virus-like particles, which aim to protect against the 9 subtypes of HPV, and these are known as antigens. A very small amount of aluminium is in the vaccine, 0.2 milligram per dose. It's there to strengthen the body's immune response. Aluminium has been used in this way for over 80 years, and it's in multiple vaccines, including hepatitis B and rabies. Polysorbate 80 is an emulsifier, commonly used in foods such as ice cream and mayonnaise, and it stabilizes and holds ingredients together. There's also histidine, which is an amino acid, and it makes up the protein in our body. It's used during the manufacturing process to make sure the vaccine stays at the correct pH level. It's found naturally in meats, dairy, legumes, and whole grains. The HPV vaccine has been given to young people across the world for 18 years. In order to gain a vaccine license, very stringent testing was performed prior to this, and side effects continue to be monitored. The Global Advisory Committee on Vaccine Safety who report findings to the World Health Organization, regularly review the safety data of vaccines. Their report from 2017 states that the HPV vaccine is extremely safe and effective. No concerns have been found through many very large high-quality studies, and the vaccine continues to be monitored for ongoing safety and regulation. As we've discussed, the vaccine has proven to be very safe. However, as with all vaccines, there are some side effects to be aware of. Your child can expect to have a sore arm and slight redness at the site of the injection. This will pass within 2 days. They may also develop symptoms of the immune response, such as a mild temperature, muscle aches, headache, tiredness, or feeling sick. Your child can be treated with paracetamol if needed. It's very common for teenagers to be anxious before a vaccination or to faint during vaccination. This should not be confused with a reaction to the vaccine. Children who are anxious can speak directly to the nursing team and get additional support as needed. I wanted to mention the risk of having a severe allergic reaction or anaphylactic reaction, as this is something which can occur when anyone consumes food, drink, or medicine. It is not like a normal allergy, as the individual would have breathing and or heart or circulatory problems. It's extremely rare. 1 in 900,000 people have been reported, and that figure is across all vaccine types. It can be treated quickly and effectively by giving medicine called adrenaline, and all teams carry this drug when they are vaccinating. I wanted to talk to you about some myths which are common surrounding the HPV vaccine. I won't read through all of the myths, you can read yourself, but I'll just highlight a few of them. As we've seen, HPV doesn't discriminate between males and females, and so therefore it is not just for girls. The vaccine protects against certain types of cancers and genital warts in men and women. It's been offered to everyone since 2019. The middle myth looks at the likelihood of getting HPV when they receive the vaccine, and it's not possible. It's not possible for anyone to become infected with HPV as there's no live virus in the vaccine. Hopefully you've seen that HPV is sadly common and infection is likely. 80% of people will come in contact with HPV during their life, but many will be symptom-free. Sadly, HPV cannot be treated. There's no cure or treatment for HPV, but there are ways to treat HPV-related health problems, such as precancerous lesions and warts. It's also important to know that wearing a condom doesn't protect you against HPV, because as we've seen, it is spread through skin-to-skin contact. It's also really important to know that young people need to build immunity against HPV before they're exposed to it. The Red Book is often referred to by vaccination teams. It's not essential that your child takes this to the school session. However, it is a good place to maintain their vaccine records for the future. There is a space in there for the HPV vaccine, as well as the Year 9 boosters for diphtheria, tetanus, polio, and meningitis. If your GP details are correct, they will be given confirmation of your child's vaccination. You'll also receive confirmation via email on the day of the vaccine. Please discuss these vaccinations with your children. Help them to think through the benefits and share resources to help them in making these decisions. There's a great video which is in one of the links below, and that's a good place to start. It's important that the body has time to build immunity against HPV before the risk of exposure. This is why we give the vaccine before people start exploring sexually and having consensual sexual relationships. The vaccine is the most effective in the body of this age group as their immune system is robust and strong. It quickly builds a strong defense against the virus. Delayed vaccination, even by a couple of years, may result in a reduced immune response and risk of exposure. If you're listening to this and thinking about an older sibling who has missed the vaccine, don't worry, this slide is for you. If your child was in the eligible age group, they can receive the vaccine until their 25th birthday. Contact your local team for more information. So what next? Please complete the consent form for your child. Even if you wish to decline, we need to hear from you. Prepare your child for the vaccine on the day, give them breakfast in the morning, and ask them to wear a short sleeve top so we can access their arm easily. If you have any further questions after today, please contact us. Our nursing team would love to talk to you about the vaccine and how we can support your family. For contact details, see below links or use the email address for your individual borough. For example, islington@v-uk.co.uk. We're almost at the end of our presentation today. I really hope this has been helpful for you. If you could complete a short feedback form, I would be very appreciative, as this will aid future webinars. All your comments are valuable. Here's a list of helpful links if you wish to have further reading. It contains a link to the video that we discussed by Bristol Educate, and that's a great starting point to talk with your child. There's also the patient information leaflet about the vaccine and links to our consent form. I will leave you with a slide summarising what we've explored today. I do hope that this has been helpful for you, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.